Okay, here's today's question. It's using bounds in a practical context. This is a higher question. When you're ready, pause the video, give it a go. Okay, what have we got? A field is in the shape of a rectangle. The length of the field is 340 metres to the nearest metre. The width of the field is 170 metres to the nearest metre. Calculate the upper bound. They want the upper bound. That's the boundary that we can get very close to, but we're not going to surpass. These have been rounded to the nearest metre. Perimeter, we need to know what this word means. Particularly if you're doing the higher course, you know perimeter means the distance around the outside. I'm looking at a rectangle. I want to know the distance around the outside. I want the greatest possible value that can be. So I need to look at these figures. I need to know what would make this as big as it could be. If I'm working with 340 and I'm working with 117, it might be obvious which ones I'm going to work with. I'm going to work through it all to show you what to do on a more complex question. I hope that makes a little bit of sense. I've got 340. It's been rounded to the nearest metre. I'm going to round it up by a metre. And I'm going to round it down by a metre. My lower bound is there, my upper bound is there, halfway between the two. So my lower bound is 339.5. My upper bound is 340.5. I'm going to pop them in my little chart. This little chart's often enough to get you a mark 2 in the exam, so it's really worth filling this in. Lower bound for 340, 339.5. Upper bound for 340, 340.5. Lower bound for 117. Going to round it up by 1. Going to round it down by 1. Going to choose the value in the middle. My lower bound, 116.5, 116.5. My upper bound, 117.5. As I say, for this might not be necessary. You might have realised what ones I need to choose. But sometimes if you're unsure, filling this out will get you an extra mark or 2. I want this to be the biggest distance it can be using these values. So if I want it to be the biggest distance and I'm adding them together, I think I need to add together the biggest ones I've got. So I'm going to use the upper bound for both. I want to know what the total area can be, and I want the biggest value that can be. I've got 340.5. I've got 340.5 opposite. Opposite lengths of a rectangle are equal. Then I've got 117.5, 117.5. These figures will give me the biggest it can be. So let's work this out. I'm going to do 340.5, add 340.5, add 117.5, add 117.5. Gives me a grand total of 916. That is my upper bound for perimeter. My distance, the greatest distance this could be before the rounding, is 916 metres. I hope that helps. As I say, this is going to get you some marks, so try and do the upper bound and lower bound. If you're ever unsure what to do the upper bound and lower bound of every number you can see. It's more than likely going to get you some marks. Anyway, here's today's challenge question. When you're ready, pause the video, give it a go. Put your answers in the comments. Let's get a bit of discussion going. Let's see what we all think. And don't forget, a bit of maths a day keeps the bad grades happy.